But a quiet revolution has been taking place on this little red dot, all in a bid to help Singapore reach its aim of a 70% recycling rate by 2030. Singapore is greening up its act. It is World Cup season. With every goal scored, a round of drinks follows. And in the morning after, trucks like this one pick up the leftovers from the night of revelry. But there is one big problem. Ravi and Zaba are responsible for collecting glass bottles from all over the island. Glass bottles that will eventually be recycled back into raw materials. But because of this noise pollution, workers like Ravi are seen as a nuisance in the neighborhood. Other than the ear-piercing problem is a more pressing one of economics. These empty glass bottles are bulky, which means that bins like this one are filled up even before the desired weight of collection. Ravi's truck is normally able to collect 4 tons of glass, but now with just 2 tons, they are already filled to the brim.
Let's say my vehicle, if every trip they are carrying about 60% of their laden weight, if I can hit 90%, that means I actually saving about 30%. Then the biggest important, if the noise level can be reduced, now I only can work in the day. If I can get it to work in the night, that means it's a 100% increase in collection also.
Patrick is the owner of the only glass recycling company in Singapore and Malaysia. His family had always been in the glass trade, providing service support to glass manufacturers in the region. 4 years ago, he decided to try his hand at recycling after he noticed the growing international trend. It was an unexplored, yet natural extension of his family's glass business. By sorting through the 3 main colors of glass and removing its contaminants, Patrick is able to give new life to them by supplying the cleaned-up material back to the manufacturers.
When we start off, we noticed a few things. People are not actually recycling glass. They have recycled metal, can, which are more higher value. But glass itself was not very successful. The awareness of this glass recycling was not there.
Singapore generates about 57,000 tons of glass a year, but only 18% of that is recycled. The rest of it ends up in Singapore's first and only offshore Semakau landfill. But while the rest of the trash is burned to ash, glass remains unscathed, because the temperature during incineration is just not high enough to melt glass. A glass bottle can remain in its original form for a long time. The result, it depletes the capacity of landfills.
Glass actually manufactured from sand. When you mine sand and you already use a lot of energy to convert this sand to glass, that's why it's a waste if you just throw away the glass. It's better to recycle it back because you also save energy.
This year, Patrick collected 1,400 kilograms of glass bottles, sheet glass, and LCD glass. He hopes to raise that figure up to 2,500 kilograms by end of the year. Only then will he break even. And his strategy for success? To eradicate the present inconveniences during collection, the limited carrying capacity of the trucks due to the bulky nature of glass, the noise pollution. Patrick turned towards some young minds at his alma mater for help. At Singapore Polytechnic, this group of students has been tasked to develop a revolutionary device for glass recycling. They came up with this contraption that involved movable hammers within an enclosed space. This means that the bottles can be fed into the machine and crushed on the spot. This solves both problems of space and sound.
In the long run, yes, this machine will actually improve the efficiency. Once the productivity and the efficiency have improved, your actually operating costs go down, okay? But in a long-term process. At the present moment, okay, we invest a lot and the return is not so much.
The student contraption will cost close to $220,000 to build and maintain. Fortunately, Patrick's project was given a helping hand by a government organization that spearheads environmental initiatives for the country, the National Environment Agency, or NEA. He was given $72,000 as part of the Innovation for Environmental Sustainability Fund. This $14.6 million fund encourages local businesses to develop green products and technologies that can ultimately contribute to Singapore's long-term environmental sustainability.
NEA was very helpful. They also look at the potential of increasing the waste recycling, especially for solid glass waste, and they actually support us in this. So they came in with the grant to lighten my load. If not, I have to came out a lot of capital for R&D, and I also have to look at the commercial side because we are so-called.
Green businesses in Singapore had a slow upstart as compared to their South Asian neighbors of India and Japan. Developing green technology can run the millions with no guarantee of success or future take-up. That is the biggest deterrent for small companies. So a helping hand from government agencies like NEA has become crucial in the early stages of test bedding. Today is the day of reckoning for the world's first mobile glass crusher. The students from Singapore Polytechnic have come to put their second prototype to the test. In earlier stress tests, the maximum had been 2,000 bottles, but today, with the yard at their disposal, they are gunning for 10,000.
We're very excited because all the tests we have done is in Singapore Poly. So today we have a chance to bring our machine to the real industry to have the test. So we were quite nervous and quite exciting.
The machine seems to be working well, even at the 5,000 bottle mark. Now to see if it can win over the field workers.
It helps us a lot. I think we save a lot of time also, and also it collects more bottles because it's crushed, and we save a lot of trips coming back so that we can have one trip full of broken bottles. Yeah.
If it's successful, that means I will manufacture the whole group. That means increase the volume, the amount of machine they have, so that we can actually go out and try out the whole thing. And Singapore being a test bed, if we can try out, let's say 10 vehicles, then we can look at other places, places like KL, like Hong Kong, where there's also big city.
A dense population on a small island. We cannot take resources for granted. These ecopreneurs might not be making huge profits now, but they're in it for the long haul. And hopefully with their efforts, this little red dot is one step closer to achieving its green aspirations.